We're on the draw with 2 spells that don't do anything, and we've got a 3-drop into a 4-drop. Alternatively, we could foretell Lupine Harbingers. Oh, just think of how big that Harbingers is going to be when we get to 6 mana. Or we could top deck back later instead. Probably should have played Lair of the Hydra. I really need to remember the Lair of the Hydra does things. Whoa! Okay. Is that a Cherix? Okay. There's an interesting game afoot. Self-mill. Cherix. So, toughness matters? What does toughness matter? What cares about toughness in standard alchemy? I kind of feel like you're probably supposed to get rid of Kazandu Mammoth here. My hand's pretty bad without it. I'm highly uncertain what it means that Snakeskin Veil was the card they were afraid of here. Or Grizzled Huntmaster, but I'm honestly not actually certain what I'm supposed to be afraid of out of the opponent. I think I just play my Mammoth and pass. Is opponent on some kind of Runo Stormkirk list? No, that's based on CMC, not toughness. I really have no ability to say anything about the opponent's possible next lines whatsoever, because I have no clue what the opponent's possible next lines are. I'm assuming I'm supposed to play Oddity before Harbingers in this scenario, because there's a chance that if I draw more lands, I might want to end up foretelling the Lupine Harbinger on a turn where that's free to do. Maybe? Okay, opponent, you gonna get that Cherix back? I'm definitely not gonna be able to do anything about Cherix ever. So I guess it blocks good? Or they can just take a bunch of damage? Okay. I'm so completely confused. Did they target their own butler with that? Yes. They did accidentally target their own butler when choosing what they thought was which creature to sacrifice. Which is unfortunate. I'm sorry. I have done that many times too. Okay, so do I want to Blizzard Brawl the Revealing Eye so that I can actually get through with a creature? I'd probably rather just play Lupine Harbinger, I guess. Alternatively, I could foretell this Lupine Harbinger, and then in about 12 turns, it'll be big enough to attack through Cherix. Probably supposed to Blizzard Brawl and play the Huntmaster. I imagine that I'm just... Okay, chat. I know that I should probably just get Ulvenwald Oddity for more threats. I really need you all to convince me not to take Toski right now. Going once. Going twice. Too late. The opponent being at 7 means they kind of need a board wipe here to stay alive. So... Oh, okay. Geralf into Cherix makes a 17/17 flyer. Okay, you know what? That does seem like a combo. That does make sense as a combo. Unfortunately for Toski, I think we're just going to try to kill our opponent here. Because dealing with a 17/17 does not sound super good. So even with a removal spell there, they still needed to use Geralf as a chump blocker, which means I don't have to deal with a 17/17. And that seems important. Okay, so... Eaten Alive and Bloodchief's Thirst makes me feel like Snakeskin Veil is probably good. I don't know how... Between Concealing Curtains and Geralf, and the fact that the opponent actually does seem to be a creature deck, Blizzard Brawl seems like it actually is useful here. I think I'm going to cut the Unnatural Growths, because even doubling up my creature's power, I suppose, isn't an answer to Cherix. Although I guess it would have been good here, sort of. I have, like, legitimately no answer to Cherix, though, huh? I'm sure it'll be fine. How often can the opponent find their 17 toughness creature? Okay. I'm not willing to throw away a hand with 3 lands, which probably makes me not good at mulliganing. Or we can just draw Werewolf Pack Leader on turn 2, and everything's fine, and nothing was ever wrong, and we always had it. That works too. This is why you keep hands with lands. You just draw your spells. The reverse also is true. We are more than happy to keep hands with spells and just draw lands. Alright, Pup, get in there. Dang, they saw through my clever ruse. Oh, it's not even the next creature that enters play, it's the next creature spell you cast. So Pup's counter gets eaten if they, well, counter. Speaking of which, isn't Syncopate in Alchemy? Oh. I wonder if I should be paying more attention to Syncopate and Control decks. Okay, Lupine Harbinger. The plan is you're eventually going to be big enough to attack through a 17/17. I think Pup's power level is mostly dependent on how do upgraded 2-drops stack up against the format. I did not feel like Pup was a very good card against me when I was playing a bunch of unsummons. I will say that. I imagine you just have to get rid of Ulvenwald Oddity here. Last time they got rid of Snakeskin Veil, but I'm really not certain that's correct at all. Yeah, they get rid of Oddity, we draw land. We're going to need a lot of mana to play this Lupine Harbinger and have a way to... I'm sorry, what is this? +3 toughness. Oh, because it makes Geralt bigger. They have no creatures in the yard. Is there a world in which I want this undead butler to die to my Tenacious Pup? Enough so that I'm willing to use Snakeskin Veil to protect it? Probably not. Is there a world in which I'm willing to Blizzard Brawl it now? It's actually... I guess I really need to kill Geralt, though, don't I? So no, is the answer. But they might play around me Snakeskin Veiling Pup to kill the Undead Butler. Did Pup feel good to you in the matchup against Dragons, MT? I kind of felt... Well, no. It felt awkward to have specifically 2 drops that we didn't want to play. But it does upgrade Old Growth Troll and... yeah, okay, it is good against Dragons. I'm willing to believe that. Never mind. It either gets creatures out of range or puts them into range, both of which are important. Catapult fodder. Oh my. Okay. Opponent is deep on the Sherrick's game plan. I respect it. I don't particularly want that catapult fodder sticking around. Maybe that's not the time where I'm supposed to use Blizzard Brawl, but considering that next turn I think I'm playing the Lupine Harbinger, I probably am just supposed to get rid of blockers. I wonder if there's a possibility I'm supposed to hit the Revealing Eye? I don't think so. It's got less toughness, but it does have more power. Oh, Packleer, you're so tempting. But I'm probably just supposed to play this 7/7. If the opponent wants to eat my Tenacious Pup, they can. Yeah, the crab with the catapult begins to make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Okay. I mean, if I got 12 power or trample on the board, I'm kind of okay with the opponent going to 1 if that's what it takes to kill my pup. Whee! Well, no third snow source makes these Blizzard Brawls awkward, but we'll just draw a snow-covered forest and it'll be fine. Perfect. Might have preferred Pup into forest, but I'm not going to complain. I did get exactly what I asked for. Jeskai? So I should assume that this gets Dwari Disruptioned, I assume. What plays Jeskai? Yeah, okay. Dwari Disruption. Haven't yet seen an Expressive Iteration deck on the ladder, so I look forward to making fun of this deck for playing Expressive Iteration in a format where that is possibly questionable, in my opinion. What do you get with your Iteration, opponent? I don't think Dwari Disruption is a card that would get played in Dragons, specifically because the way Dragons is built right now cares so much about having turn 2 Whelp. Dwari Disruption makes that kind of tougher. Alright, Old Growth Troll. I get the feeling these Blizzard Brawls are not going to be stellar here, though. if my opponent's on Jwari Disruptions and Expressive Iterations, that usually correlates with not playing too many creatures. We shall see. Two Jwari Disruptions down. Well, I don't really have an alternative to playing this Lupine Harbinger, so that's probably still going to be the plan regardless. Or we could play an Old Growth Troll, I suppose. But I imagine I'm probably still supposed to be playing Lupine Harbinger. Fading Hope, meaning my opponent's probably on Lair? But they got double white with the Forsaken Crossroads. Interesting. Key to the Archive. Alright, sure. Not in love with these Blizzard Brawls. Wow, got rid of Teferi, la-di-da. Is there something I'm supposed to get with Grizzled Huntmaster that's good against control? Probably just the haste creatures I literally already have. Alright, opponent, you have 1 billion mana. What do you destroy me with? Lair. Okay. That actually doesn't matter at all. Sunset Revelry. That bit's pretty good. Okay. Well, I don't love this, but it is necessary. Blizzard Brawl the Lair. Unsummon the Oddity. I wish we could have drawn an untapped land. That would have made this a lot cleaner. And Blizzard Brawl the Lair. I don't get the feeling that I'm allowed to foretell Lupine Harbinger here, even though my every... Well... No, I can't. Odds are the next 2 turns are going to be me playing Ulvenwald Oddity, Lupine Harbinger. Is it worth attacking first there before Blizzard Brawling? Fading Hope hurts. I don't know. If they do Fading Hope before combat, I guess they never block with Lair, do they? So if they Fading Hope before damage, then I get to play a Grizzled Huntmaster, which is meaningful. I really wish I was drawing lands right now, which is a weird thing to say. So they have 1 unknown from earlier with Key to the Archives. They discarded Teferi. Alright, there's the land eventually. You kind of wish I had foretold the Lupine Harbinger now, amusingly enough. Oh, was I supposed to Blizzard Brawl there in case they had a Lightning Helix off of Key to the Archives? Probably not. Huh. They had Fateful Absence. I wonder why they didn't attack with the human tokens. There's still 2 unknown cards from Key to the Archives. I can't imagine that it's Approach of the Second Sun. I think now we are just playing more creatures rather than trying to jam a hasty one here. But yeah, had we foretold Lupine Harbinger, we now have a threat that's nearly in lethal range. So I think I kind of regret not having done that, but when we were only on 4 mana, it seemed a lot more reasonable to not do that. Okay. Still 2 unknown cards. One unknown card. Lightning Bolt kind of makes sense, I suppose. Similar to Lightning Helix, that was another reason to have Blizzard Brawl before combat earlier. Memory Deluge kind of hurts. So this so far is the kind of deck that I do actually think Expressive Iteration is decent in, which is a deck that's more about 1-for-1s in value. Okay. I'm 1 mana short? Bummer. Okay, so they can't Magma Opus me here. I'm getting rid of the Lupine Harbinger here, mostly because I want the opponent to know or to have a reason to think I don't have one in hand. Well, also, I guess just getting Vorinclex here actually is probably correct, huh? Alright. I'm not feeling particularly good about our odds here. But continuing to play threats seems like what I'm supposed to be doing. Opponent has access to 9 mana, attacks with a 4/4, is choosing not to play Masked Exhibition? With the opponent having 2 1/1s in play, is there any chance? I think me denying them the damage here matters more than having the Huntmaster when there's so many viable chump blockers for them to have. Okay, Divide by 0 and Fading Hope. That means I don't really have an out here. I guess I have one out, which is if they Fading Hope this Lupine Harbinger. No, they can still end up Divide by Zeroing the Blizzard Brawl. I'm 1 mana short of that. Yeah, so they Divide by 0 the loop. Oh, no! I get to kill Lair post-combat. Okay. I mean, that's still not good, but it does work. Kind of. in that it keeps us from losing the game instantly. It's pretty decent. Okay. As far as not technically being dead goes, we are not technically being dead. It's got so many more cards than me. I just wish I was playing a deck that had card draw. Oh, they got rid of my clue token too. How rude. Okay, so we play a Vorinclex and trade with 2 of their tokens. And eventually they're just going to decide to flashback that Memory Deluge, and that's going to be annoying. Also, they can just take this damage and kill me. They know about the Lupine Harbingers, so there's no combination of cards I can have that actually does anything here. Okay, so we play 2 Snakeskin Veils. And we cut 2 pups. I assume I'm supposed to trim Blizzard Brawl. I guess I'm bringing in like Florahedron and Toski, because I have to imagine that Vorinclex and Oddity are the cards I get here pretty much 100% of the time. And these seem like the cards that do the most good bringing into the main deck. And Blizzard Brawl just seems totally worthless. It does hit Lair. I guess it's still worse than Inscription of Abundance, though, even for those purposes, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I'm not terribly against that. Take the play. Yeah, okay. Turn 2 Ranger class against Control. I don't loathe it. I don't love it, with Fading Hope being a card they're probably playing like 3 of, though. Alrighty, opponent. What you got for me here? Okay, so I think we're just supposed to play Old Growth Troll here. The most resistant to the most kind of interaction. And they didn't actually untap Forsaken Crossroads, so it's not getting unsummoned on my turn. If they want to unsummon on their turn, it's... yeah. Tempo. Pretty okay with them divide by zeroing that at sorcery speed. Looting away a land, huh? It's a little surprising. I do like Grizzled Huntmaster here. We get to get rid of a creature. Which one is the best to get rid of? I don't know. Probably Old Growth Troll. Do I not want to draw Old Growth Trolls? I don't think I do. Maybe that's wrong. But Old Growth Troll never feels like the threatening card when I'm on the control side of things. And Ulvenwald Oddity is something I'm very happy to have. Okay, Expressive Iteration. Untapped land. Sure. Untapped green land. Excellent. So we get to play Oddity and still have up Snakeskin Veil. Or the ability to pay for a Dwar Disruption. Whee! Okay. I appreciate the opponent just not having answers to my threats. That seems quite fun to me. In fact, that's almost the way I would prefer this go every time. Now we get to be on the draw. Yay. Well, 2-drop Toski. Is that actually a curve? Probably not, but we're going to pretend that maybe it is. Because I don't want to mulligan a hand that has lands. Okay, 2-drop 3-drop Toski is a slightly better curve. Maybe since they didn't have blue mana there, was I supposed to play Ranger class? I was thinking I didn't want to play Ranger class into an unsummon, but... Awkward time to draw Lair of the Hydra. Okay, I am super excited to blow out Divide by Zero with Snakeskin Veil. And then we even get to play the Ranger class post-combat. Most of the time as the control deck, you want to just let the Werewolf attack, and then hold up the Divide by Zero for whatever the next creature is. Divine Purge, however, is not a bad follow-up. But I'm quite happy to have 4-power hasty creatures. That makes this quite a bit easier. Fateful Absence, okay. The stuff is gone. Their stuff exists. Everyone is sad all of the time. Play my 2-mana pack leader, play Lair of the Hydra, and then probably crack this clue rather than upgrade Ranger class. Is that true? That's probably true. I think I want the opportunity to draw into a land more than I want potentially putting counters on creatures that might or might not get to attack. Is this a session of that failure for the sake of mastery? It's certainly a session of lots of mistakes for learning how to improve, but in a way that is every stream I ever do. I'm very familiar with the concept. Okay, I guess we play the expensive pack leader here. Oh, it also makes them intertapped? Huh, that's cute. Oh, and then it double taxes the next time you play Divine Purge? The combination of Fateful Absence making a clue token and Divine Purge removing the clue token is actually really cool. I had not thought of that, but I like it. Okay, Bono, what do you do if I play a Toski here? Okay. Oh, I already upgraded Ranger class? Sweet. Hullbreaker Horror seems good, unfortunately. That's gonna complicate things. What are my options around this? Spikefield Hazarding Toski is probably not correct. I bounce the Kazandu Mammoth. Toski remains in play to block the Hullbreaker Horror. It is not just a 4-mana 1/1 with no other benefits. Okay. Opponent attacks with Hullbreaker Horror. We will block the Hullbreaker Horror because it's still indestructible. Okay. How are we doing this, then? Am I to assume the opponent doesn't really have any spells that do things? So I'd probably fire up Lair the Hydra for all but 3. Maybe more than that? Do I fire it up for 5, I guess, is the question. The opponent can't bounce it. If they try to remove it, I have Snakeskin Veil. I think I'm supposed to fire it up for 5. We get to draw 2 cards. Hasty threat, hasty threat. Okay. So if we assume that to mean the opponent didn't have a card in hand, although it... Yeah, I was gonna say it had to not be a land or they would have played a land. So I could bounce, or I could protect Toski from getting bounced by Snakeskin Veil here, but they have Spikefield Hazard to bounce something. I think I'm going to need the Snakeskin Veil for the Lair of the Hydra. Please attack with the Hullbreaker. Okay, thank goodness. They should not attack with the Hullbreaker, or protecting their life total is the only thing that matters here. If I draw an untapped land, I think we just win. We did not draw an untapped land. Having not drawn an untapped land, they can't bounce Lair of the Hydra because it's a land. So they have to chump block it with Lair. Oddity doesn't force them to chump block because they can just use removal spells to kill one oddity and bounce the other. I can play an oddity and then Snakeskin Veil it, which would force a chump block. But I don't need to do that when I can just fire up Lair for 3 and attack. Because this way they just have to block with Lair. None of their spells... I guess they can... Oh, Fateful Absence can target... Oh, creature or planeswalker. I thought it was non-creature permanent. Okay. So I do still end up having to use this, unfortunately. Yeah, the Hullbreaker is part of making that slightly trickier. Yes. Okay, so we make the token. Now, what lands do they got? Really? I feel like I'm supposed to block the Horror. I don't think this 2/2 makes too much of a difference. What did they draw that they think kills this Lair of the Hydra? It's probably an unsummon, right? Oh, should I have played Oddity there? I should have. There's no reason not to. Okay, there's Fading Hope. I kind of feel like I want to play Werewolf Pack Leader, upgrade Ranger class? Is that better than just playing one of these hasty creatures? Unclear. It certainly makes it less mana to attack with a lethal Lair of the Hydra. Okay, Key to the Archives finds a spell that will probably be something they can cast, is what I imagine they choose. You can currently make Lair of the Hydra attack as an 8/8, big enough to force a block by Hullbreaker Horror. Which is probably a very strong reason to have upgraded the Ranger class. I actually really like that aspect of this line. There's not a ton of spells they can get here that interact with Lair. Okay, so they did keep the spell they got. If they don't attack with Hullbreaker Horror, then we're just committing to making Lair of the Hydra big enough to kill the Horror. I guess, so what they could have done after I made a 7/7 Lair is whatever spell they got off Key to the Archives, like even if it was just a Lightning Bolt, played it and bounced the Ranger class. Oh, so there was definitely an opening there for a lot of cards they drafted to be good enough. We would have been better off if we had top decked an untapped land. But that was a Hullbreaker Horror in play for a lot of turns that I'm relatively happy we beat.